Hey everyone, welcome back to Timmy Talks Finance. I've been a little busy, so I haven't posted anything recently, but I do want to do a total market recap and show you all where we are at right now. Okay, so first thing we're going to look at is the SPY. Now, if you saw my previous videos, we talked about how back in April, it looked like we were in a rising wedge, but I did believe that this was going to be a bear trap, and that bears are going to be suckered into this idea that we'd have a lower high, okay, coming in to this resistance around 573, 570, and that we'd have a possible rejection. Now, I didn't think that we would get rejected there, and I didn't think that we were bearish, but this was a great bear trap because bears are looking at this technical analysis and seeing that this would be the perfect opportunity to go short if we were to go down. The problem with that is we have rising liquidity and the market was overall bullish, so these bear structures don't play out. So instead of coming down, we gapped up and we have been moving higher since. Now, the S&P 500 is pretty stable, so I expect this to continue rising with liquidity. It could maybe consolidate a little, but I don't see us going down anytime soon. We have rising liquidity. There's more money being printed, and things are just looking great right now. All right, so that's pretty much the overall macro analysis of where all the assets are at, because if this S&P 500 is moving up in general, everything else is going to be moving up. So let's look at ARK, okay? So a couple weeks ago, I showed you guys how I thought that we were following a similar playbook to what happened to the COVID crash. So let's just do a quick recap. I don't want to waste too much time here. So basically, we had 1, 2, 3 tests of this blue line. We broke above, and then we crashed back down below it. And after that COVID crash, we came up and had a massive rally. Now, same thing happened here. 1, 2, 3 tests of that blue line. We broke above it, failed breakout, tariff crash. And this was about the same time. This was around the March time frame. So seasonally, almost the same exact way. And if you look at the move from the recovery since the dip, we've pretty much been following this structure right here is the exact structure from the COVID crash copied over here. So right now we are still in the structure. We're still in a mirror image of the COVID crash and V-shaped recovery up. Last week wasn't so great. We closed slightly higher, but I do expect this to follow this trend. This is an extremely bullish trend. So it would be hard to replicate this exactly and to the same magnitude, but it's going to be somewhere in this direction. So as you can see, by the end of the year, this is looking at ARK of about $120 per share, which is very possible. I would say more likely maybe $90 to $100 per share by the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. Overall, much higher from here. Okay, so what makes up ARK is going to be the number one holdings are Tesla coin, and I forgot what the third one is right now, but okay, let's look at Tesla. So Tesla, 5 years of consolidation. We have been making higher lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and what have we done? Making these higher lows is we're building a base. We've built a base for 5 years, and that's what's going to take for us to move to what I think is going to be a $2,000 to $4,000 price target. So much higher from here. 5, 10x can definitely happen with Tesla. There's a lot going on. It's not just about the car sales with Tesla. It's about the automation and the robotics and the artificial intelligence. If you want to look at car sales, it makes 0 sense for this price action to happen. So If you look at Ford, you look at Toyota, you know, one company's obviously better than the other there. But Tesla does not look like any car company. And it's not just because it's a bubble. It's because there's Elon Musk behind the company, and he is a very great he's very good with technology. So that's why I wouldn't work yourself up about, oh, look at how many car sales they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Just look at the chart. Okay, the chart's going to tell you what Tesla's future is. And Tesla's future is much higher. From here, 2,000 to 4,000 in the future. It may take a few years, but we are making higher lows. So I really don't expect us to go below. I would say, like, let's say, I mean, if it is possible for us to go below 220, because it would still be a higher low than what we made in April. But I would really not expect us to go below this green line of 160, and maybe not even be below this 280 line ever again. This support I expect to hold forever. Coin. So last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about how it's in this troubled area. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been doing well, but a lot of the altcoins and crypto stocks have not been doing as well as Bitcoin. And let's look at Coin. Coin is in a tricky situation. Okay, we had this huge move up from the low. Look, you see this inverse head and shoulders down here. We broke above the inverse head and shoulders, and we had what was almost a double top. Came down, right on this red trend line. Came back up and failed breakout. Okay, we only went a little bit above the double top that we made here, and then we came back down and formed a double bottom. This is a very tricky chart. It's trying to catch everyone off sides. It's trying to catch the bears, trying to catch the bulls. I expect this to move in the bullish direction, but it really punishes the bulls who get over leveraged too fast. So I expect us to stay above this green line. This is what we talked about 2 weeks ago. If we stay above this green line, we are good. If it starts going below this green line, somewhere down here, definitely be careful, okay? Because it should stay above this green line. If it goes below this green line down here at 150, things have really changed in the crypto market. I'll tell you that if we go down here. So just watch those levels. Let's look at MicroStrategy. Okay, now we're in this breakout move still. It's been a little slow starting, like Coinbase. Okay, but it's going to move. Okay, we had this beautiful W bottom. We came up here, and what we're doing right now is another little bull flag. Okay, this blue bull flag. This is a larger bull flag, but right now we're forming a smaller bull flag, and I expect us to resume the move up in short order. I'd say 1 month from now we should be much higher. Okay, so gold had a new weekly close, a new high on the weekly close. That's bullish. This could be a resumption of the bull trend, which I didn't expect. Right now, if you look, we're at this possible triple top, but just quickly looking at the chart here, I mean, what do you see here? You got a triple top, but you also have an ascending triangle. So I would be careful if we break below this low here at 3,300. And I would also be careful if I was a bear if we break above here. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to say I thought this was going to be the blow off top, and I thought this was going to be a double top because this was a news-based event. This top here happened into a news event. Here's why it might be a tricky situation. this new weekly close is another news event. This is the war with Israel, where Israel struck Iran. So we got a high here, local, which was a news event, and a high here, which is a news event. And this still could have been the blow off top. So I would not 100% give up on the idea of this being a blow off top and these just being news event false moves. But looking at just the chart, this structure could be proving that this blow off top was wrong. And as long as we ride this support line, then we're good to resume the bull trend. So if you're a bull, be careful falling down here. And if you're a bear, watch out for a break above here. Okay? Break out above what I thought was the blow off top. All right, let's look at silver. Now, silver is much more complicated than gold. There's a lot of false moves. But let's take a look. Okay? So this was 2012. We had a blow off top. Descending triangle came down. Okay? All the way down. This was your final capitulation low. But really, this was a double bottom. Okay, I would consider this a double bottom because of the closes. I guess you could also say triple bottom, but based on the location and how far apart these were, it would be much more clear to say on the chart this was a double bottom. Okay, and what did we have after the double bottom? We had a double top, but not just a double top, this is a rounding top. We came down, okay, and formed our bottom, which was on top of all this price action over here. Okay, around $18 almost, and we came up. Now, this breakout did look very weak to me, and given that I thought that gold had a blow off top, which it still could have, I thought this was going to be another rounding top coming back down. But instead, we've actually made new highs. Now, gold is the leader, so this could just be a fake move on silver, even though we're at new highs, new local highs. This could be a fake move. You're going to want to make sure that if you're in silver, don't look at silver, look at gold. What's gold doing? If gold starts breaking under that trend line we just talked about, silver is not going to keep going up. I assure you of that. So I would be careful here. But at the same time, remember, if gold gets above that blow off top level that I just showed you on the chart, silver, which is now starting to show strength, could hit that $50. It could shoot up to $50. But it would have to break. Remember, gold would have to move. It would have to be. You have to be watching gold. Okay. So we could look at Bitcoin or SUI, or I mean, Bitcoin looks so good. I mean, to be honest. All right, let's just look at it quickly. Bitcoin looks so good. There's nothing to say about it. Okay, it just looks fantastic. And most people don't care about Bitcoin. Why do they don't care about Bitcoin? They just care about their altcoins. Okay, so let's go look at the altcoins. So Solana. Okay. Now, if you didn't see my video originally about Solana, check that one out. Basically, quickly summarizing it, we had back in 2021, what did we have? This was a false breakout retest above this. You see this blue line? We moved it up, we came down, and we hit this blue line. Bulls thought this was we were going to break above again, and may have another move up, but instead it was a false breakout, and it was a final death blow to the bulls. It went all the way down to the single digits. So this blue line is very important, okay? And it took us a while. Well, I wouldn't say a while. It took us a few months to break above the blue line again in this new bull trend. And what have we done? We've tested this blue line so many times. I'm not even going to sit here and count them, but you could see here on the chart. Okay, what's the blue line? Blue line's about 126. About. you know, somewhere around there. We are still strongly above this blue line. Okay, and we have had this false breakdown. You can't see this on the monthly chart, but if we go on to like the weekly, you could see, yeah, this is much more clear on the weekly, right? So we came down, we broke under the blue line, but this was a false breakdown. This is so bullish. When you see this super strong support get broken and then it shoot back above, that's a false breakout. That's really bullish. Okay, okay, now it looks like we're in this like bull flag. Okay, after this big move, I do expect this to move up again. This is lasting a little bit longer than I thought, but just look at the S&P 500. Look at the liquidity situation. Everything's pointing much higher. So I don't know how many more weeks it's going to sit here with these red candles, but we should have another move up coming. We should be very close to it. Maybe another week or two, maybe next week. I mean, we're so close to just having this next move. SUI. Okay, SUI is a little bit harder to chart than Solana, but I would just simply say, look, these are just lows, right? These are lows. This is a low. This is a low. This is a low. These are just slowly higher lows. Okay. I mean, I guess you could say this is like a lower high, but just kind of quickly looking at it, we're just going up. Okay. Just going up. But remember what we saw in Solana? We had this move up, and then what do we have? A bull flag. This is like a correction. I do expect this to move back up soon, just with Solana. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still doing well. And the last thing I'm going to look at is Cronos, CRO. And I know a lot of people don't have this coin, but a lot of coins look like this. This is a smaller cap altcoin. And a lot of altcoins look horrible on the chart. Well, I wouldn't say they look horrible on the chart, because you could say that there's a lot of room to move up. But it's been a pretty painful thing to hold on if you've just been holding on this entire time. So what do we see in this chart, right? We're having these higher lows, and we've had a lot of explosive moves, explosive fake outs. This is just this is like a beach ball under the water. It's just waiting for the next move. And this next move is just going to go shoot, you know, you're holding the beach ball underwater. It's just going to shoot up. Okay? And it's been doing that over and over again. It just hasn't gotten that. It just unfortunately keeps getting pressed down. Okay, the altcoin market's just not been doing well. But the altcoin market is going to do well, I would say, pretty soon. And soon is an arbitrary time frame. Just know that a lot of people have started to give up on altcoins, and they believe only holding Bitcoin. And that's because altcoins have done so poorly for so long. They get tired and they've gotten shaken out. Okay, the people who make a lot of money are not the people who are just get shaken out and everything. Like, oh, altcoins are doing terrible, let me sell them. Or, oh, altcoins are doing great, let me FOMO in. You have to go through a lot of pain to make a lot of money. You're not going to just buy something and then see it go straight up, and then for you to end up actually cashing out. The great majority of trades, there's a lot of pain in between and a lot of patience. You need a lot of patience to make a lot of money. If you have only a little patience, you won't even make a little money. You'll just lose money. So, great patience, great profit. Low patience, great losses. Okay, so that's everything I have for you for now. Maybe next week or in a couple weeks, we'll have some more market updates. So like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want me to check out a certain coin or a certain stock. Put that in the comments.